Welcome to Conversations and Connections to Amplify and Inspire. I'm Kerryn Powell, and this is the second series of my podcast where I take you on a journey into meaningful conversations that inspire action and create lasting impact. This season, we're taking things to the next level, exploring how simple introductions and a curiosity to learn can lead to extraordinary moments. Together, we'll uncover stories, celebrate the transformative power of human connection and how it drives us to collaborate, contribute, create a better future, and influence change in our community. I hope you enjoy it. Hello, and welcome back to Conversations and Connections to Amplify and Inspire. I'm so glad you're here. And whether you're walking the dog, driving to work, or just taking a quiet moment for yourself, thank you for choosing to spend the time with me. If we haven't met yet, I'm Kerryn Powell, and I call myself a catalyst and a connector. I've always been fascinated by people, their stories, their journeys, and the incredible ripple effect that one genuine connection can make. I'm based in Melbourne, where I've lived most of my life, and I'm married to Lee. We've been together for more than half my life, and we have two wonderful adult children, Nick and Olivia, plus a lovely daughter-in-law, Beth, and our two lovely grandchildren who bring us so much joy. Through my work and through Your Time Matters, my business community, I've spent years bringing people together, creating spaces for business professionals, teams and individuals to grow, collaborate and take purposeful action, because when we connect, we grow. In these shorter episodes, I reflect on conversations from the podcast that stood out, how it resonates with me and my own story, and what it might spark for you. So today we're looking back at my conversation with Eric M., an engineer, data specialist, and someone who stepped far beyond his expertise to discover the power of connection, mentorship, and storytelling. Eric comes from a highly technical background, working with systems, processes, and data. But what really struck me in our conversation was how much he'd embraced people work, mentorship, public speaking, and sharing his story. It's not always easy. It's not what most people expect from someone in his field, but that's the beauty of it. By saying yes to opportunities outside of his comfort zone, Eric has discovered whole new dimensions of himself and ways to make a difference that he never anticipated. It reminded me of something I've always believed. We're not limited by our titles or the boxes we think we belong in. We are constantly evolving. And when we allow ourselves to step out of the familiar, we grow. Eric's journey is a testament to that. One of the takeaways from our chat was the courage it took to just show up. Eric didn't wait until he felt 100% ready to speak publicly or to mentor someone. He stepped into it even when it felt uncomfortable. And with each step, his confidence grew. That hit home for me. Years ago, I took part in a career research study that asked me if I'd consider being a garbage truck driver or a firefighter, roles I'd never tried and frankly never imagined myself doing. But I said yes if I needed to. Not because I had a secret dream of driving a truck, but because I've always believed that you don't know what you're capable of unless you try. Every situation holds the potential to teach us something. So if you're facing something new or stretching into unfamiliar territory, know that showing up is the first and most powerful step. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be present and give it a try. Another big theme for Eric's story was connection. He spoke about the role of mentorship in his life and how storytelling helped him to build stronger relationships, not just in work, but in life. I've seen that too over and over again. In my years of hosting networking events and creating communities, I've had the privilege of witnessing real connection unfold. It's not always flashy, and sometimes it's a quiet chat over coffee, or sometimes it's the courage to introduce yourself to someone you don't know. While many people find networking awkward, and that's completely normal, networking, when done right, isn't about small talk or sales. It's about being curious about people and connecting. It's asking, what matters to you and what lights you up? It's discovering shared values or learning something completely new from someone with a totally different background. When we stretch ourselves to connect, especially with people outside our usual circles, we grow. We get to see things differently. We find common ground, and we open ourselves up to opportunities we never saw coming. I encourage you, next time you're in a room or even at the supermarket, practice curiosity. Say hello, ask a question. Connection starts small, but it expands quickly. Something Eric reminded me of in our conversation was that confidence doesn't just show up first. Action does. Confidence is something we build through repetition, through moments of I did it, even though I wasn't sure. And whether it's speaking at an event, leading a project, or recording your very first podcast episode, it's the act of doing that builds the belief in yourself. And you don't need a huge leap to start. One conversation, one step out of your comfort zone, one yes. If you're waiting to feel ready, you might be waiting a long time. Try saying yes before you're sure. You can surprise yourself. And finally, something that resonated deeply with me was the idea of contribution. Eric's story reminded me how valuable it is when we contribute beyond our official roles, when we share ideas, mentor others, or simply listen. We create ripple effects. One conversation can change someone's perspective. One small act of support can open a door. This is something I see all the time when people come together through YTM, my business community, that sparks that aha moment, the connection that leads to collaboration. It can be so beautiful and it can be so powerful. You may not always see the impact of your contribution, but it's there. So here's my invitation to you today. Where might you stretch a little beyond what's familiar? Where could you be more curious instead of cautious? And how might your story support someone else if you choose to share it? If this reflection resonated with you, you might enjoy exploring these themes further in my book. It's filled with stories, some of my own, and many from the incredible people I've met, along with insights about connection, growth, and what it means to truly make your time matter. You'll find the link in the show notes. And of course, if you're new to the podcast or missed Series 1, I encourage you to go back and listen. You'll find all those conversations on Spotify or over on my website, www.kerrynpowell.com.au. There's so much to take from these shared experiences, and I hope they inspire you the way they've inspired me. Thanks so much for being here, and until next time, keep showing up, keep connecting, and keep being curious, because your time really does matter. Thank you for joining me on Conversations and Connections today. I hope this conversation sparked new ideas and reminded you of the power of meaningful connections. A huge thank you to all of our guests for sharing their valuable insights and inspiring stories. Visit my website at kerrynpowell.com.au. You'll find resources, insights, and opportunities to work with me to make every conversation count and create lasting impact. Don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, and leave a review to help spread the word. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected, and let's start making an impact together, one conversation at a time.